if someone told you that the most important thing on your to-do list was to pause and take a break from your to-do list? In Sweden, people understand the power of a pause. They stop throughout the day to have a coffee, sometimes with friends and sometimes by themselves, just to recharge. They call it Fika. I learned about Fika from some wonderful Swedish friends when we were in Romania. We were there on a work trip, and one morning we were painting a house in a gypsy village. And right in the middle of work, one of my Swedish friends just stopped. He pulled out a sandwich and a thermos of coffee, and he sat down. And we all sort of looked at him, kind of wondering what he was doing, and he sort of shrugged his shoulders and he said, "Well, it's time for Fika." I thought it was fantastic. How often have we all wanted to stop and take a step back from the crazy in our day and just breathe? It's one of those things that we know we can do, we just forget that we can. But if the pandemic has taught us anything, it's that just taking a break or taking a pause doesn't necessarily recharge us. It's what we do with that break that can make the difference between being filled up and being even more depleted. You see, one of the other things the pandemic has taught us is that no matter who we are, no matter how much or how little you have in life, we all need a hand on our backs to help us to get through it. Life can get busy and boring and painful, and we need those people who will remind us of what's true when we forget, who remind us to pause and remember that it's good to be alive. And so that's why I want to invite you to 5-Minute Fika. 5-Minute Fika will be daily videos reminding us all of what's so great about being alive. It's your excuse to take a break, to take a step back from the crazy and grab a cup of coffee and just recharge for a few minutes. You see, I used to subscribe to these videos. I would get them every morning and they were on business tips, but I loved being able to sit with my coffee and watch the videos, and it always sort of started my day off really on the right foot. So I want to offer you the same thing, except instead of business tips, I want to talk about what's really great about this life. Because it's not that we don't know that life is great. I think sometimes we just forget. When the negative voices in our head get really loud, and when you're feeling it empty and tired and worn out and discouraged, sometimes you just need a reminder of where to go to find the things that bring you joy in life. It's a different kind of self-care. So at 5-Minute Fika, we'll think about true and beautiful things. Things like philosophy and art and literature and music and dance parties and good food and really good chocolate and equality and dignity and what it means to be resilient and how to help each other be stronger. We'll sit together and we'll think about good stuff until we both can breathe and find the courage to get back out there and keep going. You see, I spent a lot of my life working with people in very difficult circumstances. Orphans, refugees, kids with cancer, people caught between cultures. And I've learned that there aren't simple answers to complex problems. But I've also learned that when you're in the middle of a big problem, sometimes what you really need is just a small moment of grace. A moment to be reminded of the joys of being on this planet, to sit with someone who cares, and who will remind you who you truly are. And like the great philosopher Ferris Bueller once said, life moves pretty fast. If we don't stop and take a look around it once in a while, you just might miss it. And he's right. Don't miss it. So join me for 5-Minute Fika. Follow the YouTube page, subscribe on YouTube, follow the Facebook page, join Fika Friends Facebook group, follow on Instagram, you know all the things. And then take 5 minutes every day and join me for a coffee or a tea or a glass of something wonderful. And we'll sit back and we'll breathe and we'll talk about good and beautiful things. And your to-do list won't mind. And you'll be glad you did. Thanks so much. See you soon. Bye.